we go. In 3, 2. Next episode of This Week in Sports, where we have another very special guest. Tonight's guest, we have my dog, Dene. Dene, say what up. Yes, so she's got some insight on the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Rivers being suspended, and Orlando's Mamba suspended. Lakers versus Pelicans. Toronto to host the NHL All-Star Game. She's got insight on all of this, but she sometimes chooses not to talk, so that's okay. Beyond that, obviously big news. We got huge news in the world of sports. I mean, the most important, huge, tremendous, the most important events happening. Everyone cares about. Obviously, I mean, we're talking about the Pro Bowl in the NFL. Just a tremendous event. Everyone talks about it. It's funny. I was this morning. I was up really early, and I threw on Sportsnet or whatever, trying to just see highlights of the Pro Bowl, just to see what it was like and shit. Sportsnet didn't even do anything on it, and then even when I threw on the NFL Network, Good Morning Football and shit, they didn't even touch it for 45 minutes or something, right? It's just just a little fun event or whatever, right? And the All-Star Game in the NHL happened this weekend as well, where actually the Oilers, there was 3 representatives from the Oil, the third of which, I mean, I think we're still all surprised by the fact that Stuart Skinner made it, but shout out to the Oilers rookie goaltender, Stuart Skinner, first goalie to the first rookie, first Oiler rookie since I think it was 1987, no, 1984. First rookie since Grant Fuhr from the Oilers going to the All-Star Game, which was amazing. And then obviously there's a guy named Leon and a guy named Connor that also went. And that skills competition, Leon, busy weekend, not in the world of sport necessarily, but in a different sport that I'll get into in a bit here, how awesome my weekend was. But wasn't able to watch actually much of the skills competition, but I seen the highlights of Leon kind of actually struggling surprisingly in the event that he was in, accuracy shooting, which kind of sucks. But Connor picked up the slack, went 4 for 4 in 9 seconds or some shit. It was really impressive, and it kind of is a testament to his season so far, where he's leading the league in scoring. He's on pace for 60 goals or some shit. More than 60 goals, actually, if you look at the pace he's on. And yeah, so in a season where Connor is scoring more than anybody, and it's usually Leon scoring more than Connor actually outshined Leon on the accuracy shooting. Not that it matters really that much, but that was some of the highlights I've seen there. Oh yeah, also Stuart Skinner scoring a goal. They have they change up these events every year in the skills competition in the NHL. There's always new events and shit. Some of the ones this year were kind of out there. I'll put it like that. But one that remained from previous season was a part of the. It was like a goalie challenge or something, and part of the goalie challenge was the goalie having to score from his own goal line, and Skinner sniped it 200 feet down. There's a little, it's like a competition that you'd see in intermission if you had a fan trying to shoot into a net. They have the whole thing's blocked except a little hole in the bottom, in the middle, and it's Stu fucking shot it, sniped it, no problem, Mike Smith style, and scored there. So the boys had a couple highlights here and there. The Pacific team, it was a 3-on-3 tournament, 3 games, and they play for $1 million. The boys do, and Pacific lost once again in their first game. But who cares? But Leon and Connor hooked up for a couple nice goals like they normally do, and Stu made a couple good saves against these All-Stars. And just hearing from their interviews and whatnot, especially Stu's, that he had an amazing time. I mean, it was unexpected from everybody. I still can't believe Stuart Skinner made it as a rookie, but Good for him. And I love the fact that there was 3 oil there. It was dope. It was dope. It's been a while since we had 3 oilers. You have to go back to, if my memory serves me correct, I think there was a year where we had Nuge there with Leon and Connor. I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be longer than that since we've had 3. It could be the '80s since the last time we had 3 All Stars at the game. But we're going in hot into the All Star break. We play again on Tuesday against New Jersey in New Jersey. Or no, sorry, Detroit. We're in Detroit. We've got the New Jersey game on right here. That's what got confused. But we're in Detroit to face the Red Wings on Tuesday, and hopefully we can continue our second half, the start of our second half, like we finished our first half. Just keep the momentum going, keep it rolling, because I think we won 7 of 8. We had points in all 8 of those games going into the All-Star break. And before that streak, people were like freaking out. Oh my God, what do we got to do? This and that, all this, and this, it happens every fucking year. There's always like a period of time where people freak out, and then we come back. We were a stronger second half team, and I'm never worried when that shit happens. Not nowadays. Back in the day, I would get worried.
Look, the same thing happened last year.
Yeah, and the same thing happens with our weather too. People get too used to, kind of in an opposite way. People get too used to the warmth, and then when it fucking snows, they freak out. In a way where people are used to the Oilers being good, and if we're not too good for a certain amount of time, they fucking freak out, and then we get good again. It's like, just chill out, you maniacs. Like, it's okay. It's okay. This ain't freaking 2008 again, okay? Like, we're all right. We're all right. So as long as we keep up the momentum going in the second half here, I think we'll be okay. I'm not too shook. I mean, look at Colorado. They're below us in the standings, and they won the Cup last year. They're the team that beat us. But the team to beat, in my opinion, is the Boston Bruins. They are actually, this week in sports history, they're making history. They are the fastest team. They have 83 points now, but they were the fastest team to 80 points when they reached 80-point mark. I think it was I wrote it down. 30. What the fuck was it? I think it was 37 games. So many stats in the head all the time. Where is it? Yeah, so 47 games, they've reached 80 points. So basically they went like 40-7, essentially. I mean, there was a couple of overtime losses in there and shit, but yeah, just incredible record. And they're still rolling. And like I said, they're the team to beat, in my opinion. They're the first in the Atlantic. They are up 13 points on Toronto, and Toronto's having a year, but there's no need to get into that, because I mean, what it comes down to is playoff success, and the reason why I think Boston is the team to beat is because they have players that have been there, done that. They have Stanley Cup champions, multi-Stanley Cup champions on their team, and their veterans have done it. And I feel like the veterans are showing the new blood kind of the way of the land. I mean, it's clear, like they're just dominating the NHL this year, just absolutely going off. And they don't just play like a. Colorado went off last year. They were the best team. They won the Stanley Cup. But the way the Boston Bruins do it, they do it almost in like a more physical way, and more of a hard knock game than this. They have skilled players, but they're able to throw the body around too, and that's, I think, still in today's NHL very important to do so. So I think they're the team to beat going in here in the second half. Luckily, we don't have to play them, I don't think, at all anymore this year, unless we do make it to the Stanley Cup final, because Boston, mark my words now, is my pick to make the Stanley Cup final from the East. The West, obviously, we all know my pick for the West. And I think that's about it in hockey news. Well, yeah, this week in sports too. I mean, it's been a little bit since we last recorded. Bobby Hull, the great Bobby Hull, died. I heard the guy was kind of a piece of shit, though. I don't know.
How old is he?
He's old. He was in his 80s and shit.
Everyone back then.
Everyone's a piece of shit. Yeah. And I don't mean any disrespect to Hall. The guy is an amazing, amazing hockey player, and his whole family. Brett Hall, his son, his brother who also played in the NHL, I believe, and amazing, amazing hockey player. And I like to separate the art from the artists. You know, that's if that's still allowed to be said. No, but R.I.P. Bobby Hull, and give him some love, fake people. Well, he's a Hall of Famer. He's in the Hall. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's crazy though because that's Bobby Hull is Brett Hull's dad or uncle or something. I'm pretty sure it's his dad. And Brett Hull even is old because Brett Hull was playing when I was growing up, and he was one of like the best scorers of his generation, and he was like nearing the end of his career when I was like a kid. And that was Brett Hull. So Brett Hull is old himself, like in his like 50s or something, 60s or some shit. And he's also a Hall of Famer too. So the Hulls some hell of a hockey family. But other than that, yeah, Oilers play again. NHL starting up again. Atlantic won the $1 million in the All-Star game. It is what it is. I caught a little bit of it, but this weekend was quite crazy. So I missed the Pro Bowl and shit, but yeah, whatever. Missed the Pro Bowl, missed the All-Star game, but this weekend was quite fun. So more of a personal level. Thursday. I got back from town, back from out of town, I think Wednesday or something. Wednesday night. Or no, it was Thursday. I got back on Thursday. Thursday afternoon. And then I go to meet up with my buddy Richard, which I haven't seen in a long time. Shout out Richard Smith, Realistic. Because speaking in the world of sports, keep it sports related, he had a battle to do on Friday, and that there's a lot of similarities in battling as there is in sports. You know, there's a lot of competition. You're always trying to one up your opponent, and you know it's for a title. And so
A battle?
a rap battle, yeah,
Rap battle.
rap battle.
Not like a sword battle.
Well, that too.
That came later.
That was on the Thursday. So I met up with him, and I haven't seen the guy in like fucking a long, long time. He was on the podcast like way back in the day. I can't believe we can even say that. Well, I mean, if it's like a year ago or
Like
something.
a year ago.
Yeah. It was for like a UFC. He's a big UFC guy. But anyways, I met up with him on the Thursday. We did some catching up because I was like, dude, if you have a battle on, because his battle was on Friday. I'm like, if we're seeing each other for the first time in this amount of time, I don't want to have to try to catch up before your battle, right? Like, I don't want to, fuck with it, and So I was like, let's meet up on Thursday. We met up on Thursday, caught up. It was good times as always is. He's telling me some funny stories. We've got to get him on the podcast again one of these days. Guy's hilarious as fuck, and he's in the best place I've seen him in since I've known him. I think he's healthier than he's ever been, and he's making some really, really healthy choices. And anyway, so we just catching up, grab some din, and then I dropped him off. I picked him up from the rec center. I dropped him off the rec center. This guy's hitting the gym hard. Damn. Yeah, and so like I said, he's the healthiest he's ever been. He's not even like drinking or anything anymore, and so I'm really proud of where he's at as his best friend. And so I dropped him off at the gym, and then I went and picked up my sister Naomi, and we went to this. It's called the Flying Canoe the Flying Canoe Festival or some shit. It's put on by the Frenchies in Edmonton here, the Métis people. But the funny thing is, like, whenever I went there 2 years in a row now, I'm the only Indian guy there, only visibly Métis person there. And I mean,
Métis are real white this part of the world, though.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. And this time of year too, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's funny though. They have like these Métis flags, and I'm like, well, a lot of white people here.
Like my coworkers, they got the long hair.
Yeah,
and
true.
Yeah, looks white.
Yeah, yeah. That actually reminds me of a confrontation that I won't go into too much detail on here, but I had a confrontation at one of these sporting events. I'm going to do this very vague. And this guy was already pissed off because he felt like he wasn't getting treated fairly because he looked white. And he's like, "This happens to me my whole entire life. I'm Indian, this, but because I look white, this." I'm like, I just cracked a joke. I'm like, "Yeah, well, you do look pretty white." And he just like got super mad at me.
Uh-oh.
And yes, super mad at me, and then like stormed off. And then I seen him again at another time, and we almost got into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we had to get separated. We're not get separated. I was like, he was like, call me a fuckface or something, and I'm like, really?
What?
Yeah. And I'm keeping this super vague.
Yeah.
And we luckily there was other people there. We were all standing like in a circle. Like, you just call me that? He's like, yeah. And then cooler heads prevailed, and he apologized, and I apologized to him. I'm like, I meant no offense by that. I was just joking when I said that the other week. That you look like, I wasn't like trying to offend you, dude. Like, take a chill pill, right? But we shook hands, and then we got over it, and then we ended up having a good time that second time.
There's nothing more white you can do than get offended at that kind of stuff, though.
Right?
Roll with the punches.
Roll with the punches, man.
And bro, I see some real white people deep in ceremony. Obviously, they have indigenous heritage.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sure they got all that flack, and they roll with the punches, and you can live just fine as an indigenous person that looks white.
Yeah, it's trippy to me that like white is an insult now. I don't like what's wrong with that. It's not supposed to be like the best thing, like in the world.
Yeah, you got it all, bro.
Yeah,
I could be white passing. Yeah. Sometimes I would, especially when I'm getting pulled over.
Yeah,
hello there, officer.
Oh my goodness, the shit I wouldn't have to go through with the cops, especially. That'd be only like.
That's the name. That's the main thing.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
Shopping better.
Yeah, you don't have to be like eyed down and shit. Whatever. This is not the podcast for this, but it's just the truth of the matter. What the fuck was I saying before that? Oh yeah, my weekend. So dropped off there. Went to the Flying Canoe Festival. It was awesome. Saw some French people perform, kill it. Didn't know what the fuck they were saying, but it was still cool.
It sounded good.
Yeah. It sounded good. It was cool. But it was cold as shit. Anyway, so that was the first day. Second day. Well, I have this rap show, this hip hop show that I knew my buddy Richard was going to be battling at. Unbeknownst to me, he's like, "Yo, there's this freestyle thing that happens before it, and they judge shit, and then like you can like win stuff from like pitchers of beer or whatever for like the best freestyler." And he's like, "I know you can do it." I'm like, "What?" I wasn't expecting to perform, because for those that don't know, I back in a previous life, I used to perform hip hop everywhere in the city, in Western Canada. I've performed in BC and in Saskatchewan, and but I hadn't performed in a long time, and I wasn't necessarily prepared for it. And my buddy, thank God for him, Richard, he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna do it." I'm like, "All right, whatever, I'll do it." And then I show up to the venue with my sister and my cousin Adam, and I don't want to say name. I don't want to name any names here, so I'm going to be kind of somewhat vague on this, but it's actually incredible how it kind of turned out. I show up to the venue, and my buddy's already there. Richard's already there. He comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, this person's here," and this person is someone that I knew for a long time, and we were really close, and we no longer hang out or whatever. And and he's like, don't look around, don't look around. And I'm looking around for this person because I haven't seen this person in like years. And it's not like anything bad, like we didn't end on bad terms or anything, but it was I was like, what the fuck, really? Anyway, so long story short, I never really get nervous before anything. The only times in my life where I can think of, like, especially recently, where I've gotten nervous for something like uh, was interview with Randy Gregg for the Riverhawks. Meeting Randy Gregg, I kind of got a little bit nervous before that. I kind of got crazy nervous before my first Indian relay event that I announced for last summer. I was hella nervous, but this was up there with the most nervous I've ever been. It was almost like as nervous as like my first time performing hip hop back when I was like 18 years old in front of people, like my first show or whatever, 17 years old, because I knew this person was there, and I didn't want to fuck it up, and I knew I had to be good. I knew I had to be good because I didn't want to my first impression in this and how many years being bad. So the way this freestyle worked was they were calling names out of a hat, so it wasn't like a set list. So they just had names in a hat and they were pulling them out. They're like, this person come up, this person come up. People were coming up. I was expecting my name next. My name's not coming. Next, no, it's not there. There was like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 artists went up, and I'm expecting, like, I'm pacing it in the back, like I've never done before, really, for just a quick freaking performance, and expecting. What was really nerve wracking was the fact that they were picking names from a hat. Like if I had known what time I was going to go up, and my like a certain specific order, it wouldn't have been as bad. But the fact that they were like picking names out of a hat, like it could be anybody, that's what was really nerve wracking too. And then finally I don't know, it was like the 7th or 8th guy went up, and they do it, and they were the DJ and then his colleague were like critiquing each freestyler. Like, oh, you do this better, we like this from you, we like that from you. You know, you could change up this or whatever. So it was kind of just one of those things where there was judges and shit essentially. And they finished up with the last guy, and then they're like, oh, okay, now we're gonna bring up Realistic, my buddy Richard. Realistic is his rap name for the battle. And then Richard, the solid motherfucker that he is, he goes to grabs the mic. He's like, yeah, before I go on, before I do my thing, I got to bring up my boy Josh Jacko. Guy's dope at freestyle. He gives me like a cool intro, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting it. I thought the shit was done, but he brought me up, and it felt so natural though. No, but it felt natural, like he bringing me up, because he was the guy who I performed with everywhere where I said I was performing. He was with me like probably like 80-90% of those shows. It was with him, just me and him, because we have songs, we have dozens and dozens of songs together. And we used to freestyle together all the time, and just rock it. And he gives me a nice intro, and I come up, and I'm like, thank you, man, I appreciate that. And my professionalism kicks in on the mic, because I didn't see anyone do this before I did. I asked the DJ's name. I'm like, give a shout out to the DJ. What's his name, right? Right? People, shout out to him. And the other judge right next to him, I'm like, what's your name? Give a shout out to him. Blah blah blah. I give a shout out to the bartender David. I remember his name because David was solid. He was hooking me up at the bar. I give it a shout out to David, and give it a shout out to the venue. I can't remember what the venue was. I was like, and give yourself a shout out, you hip hop fans. I did it like a real pro. Yeah. Like none of the kids did it like that before me, and so I rocked that, and then I just went into my freestyle, just freaking killed it, just did my thing. It was so natural, and I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know I went off and did my thing. And just the whole the way I rocked the stage it was different than any other guy there. So by the time I was finished, the place went off, place went wild, and it felt so good, because that person that I had to perform for, well, that I knew that was there, that I never actually even looked at. I didn't want to look over there, because I was like, it might fuck me up. I rocked it. It felt so good at the end of it. I'm like, fucking right, I did it. Just in the back of my head. And the crowd goes off, and everyone's loving it. And then the two judges or whatever, the two critique, whatever you want to call them, they're like, normally we critique everyone here and whatnot, but there's actually nothing we can say about Jacko. Yeah, I was so sick. I'm like, fucking rights, man. I rode that high for like the next couple of days because it felt so good to actually not only perform for the first time in a long time, but actually kill it for my first performance. And it was probably years since I last performed. It was a long time. It was a long time, and especially considering the fact that we used to perform all the time. Me and Realistic, we used to perform like there was weeks where we would perform like 4 shows a week at our peak, and hadn't done it for a long time, and I was able to do it. Felt natural, and I rocked it and killed it. And then Richard had his battle afterwards, and it turned out to be a great night. Um, so many fun times. Met some great people, some funny people. This photographer I met, I was standing out front, and I don't know how it happened. I think he had he had a camera out. He was like taking pictures. I'm like, yo, man, you want me to pose out here for some pictures? I was feeling it, so I posed for some pictures. Highlighted the venue and did my thing and helped the photographer kind of get some good shots. And hoping he added me on Instagram there, so hopefully he can send some of those my way, because those are some really nice shots that he took. He showed me on his camera. And all in all, it turned out to be an amazing night. And the battle was fun. The highlight of the battle, Richard was going off on the dude's girl that he was with, right? His girlfriend or whatever. And then Buddy flipped it. He was like saying, "You're talking shit about my bitch," or some shit. And then he threw me in it. He's like, "Well, I see you brought your bitch too." And he points at me. I'm like, "Oh!" Like, I didn't want to be part of this, but I was obviously in Richard's corner. But yeah, it was fun. It was a really fun night. And so that was the Friday night, and then the Saturday night is when your organization put on the round dance. And
the round dance that rocked the city, apparently.
Yeah, it was huge. Like, it was it blew your guys' anticipation out of the water, like, because you guys were only anticipating a certain amount of people, and then like 3 times the amount of people showed up or something, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so it was my first ever round dance in the city. It was by Kingsway there, and Aviation Museum. And by the time I got there, I wasn't even there that late. It was packed in there.
No, you got there like 2 hours after it started.
Yeah, exactly. And it was
still had like 4 or 5 hours left to go.
Yeah, and it was jam packed already, and that was a lot of fun. Met a lot of amazing, terrific people there, and it was. Unfortunately, we got there too late for the food, but you said the food like it was.
I didn't even get the food, bro. And I made it.
yeah, exactly. That's how many people showed up. So that was an amazing turnout. I can't wait for the next one, because if that's the turnout you guys get, you guys should not just have one once a year. Have a couple a year at least, or something.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have one in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, if you get that kind of a turnout, you have to.
Well,
right?
we're gonna have a powwow in the summer.
Gotcha.
So there's gonna be professional dancers like coming in doing the grand entry.
Nice.
And then judgments, and then round dances on top of that.
Oh yes, that's the way to do it. Because man, that was huge. I was like talking to people that I haven't seen in a long time on Messenger and shit, and they're like, "Yeah, we're going to the round dance." I'm like, "Oh, what? Really? No way!
Yeah.
I've been here all day, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, we just
good advertising."
Yeah, well, no, I mean, like they were showing up like late in the evening. I'm like, I've been here for like hours already.
Bro, people were showing up so late. It's like, man, they're still gonna get down, I guess.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So like, it was an amazing turnout for that. We had a really good time. We were outside they had a fire right out front, and we were out there for the most of the time, because it was packed inside. There was like no room to be had inside, no seat to be had. So we were just sitting around the fire.
Who have a fire in the winter?
Yeah, who has a fire in the winter? Exactly. So yeah, we had a fire right in the parking lot, right in front of the venue, and we just sat out there and having some good times, and something I'll never forget. And I can't wait for another one. Hopefully, you guys can throw one on the summer.
Yeah.
And we'll snag some more aunties.
Absolutely.
So that's why I missed the all this shit here this weekend. But it's one of those weekends where, OT breakaway, what a save! I didn't even realize this OT. We got the Vancouver, New Jersey game on right now because that's the only game going on. And there's also the Flames game, but we don't do that here. But the busy weekend, busy ass weekend, and so I missed all the shit. But like I said, it's like I was saying, if this is a weekend to miss shit, it's this weekend. It's just an All-Star game, fucking Pro Bowl. It's a weekend before the Super Bowl, and I guess this will be my this is the time for my Super Bowl prediction. No, that epic fucking tomb one.
No, I know that one.
My Super Bowl prediction.
Nope.
Oh my god. Okay, this is time for my Super Bowl prediction.
Yes. Go.
All right,
Super
Bowl prediction time.
Edit that out.
Super Bowl prediction time. So we got the Philadelphia 76ers. Just kidding. We got Philly in it versus the Chiefs.
Ooh.
So Chiefs been there, done that. Philly been there, done that, but that was a while ago. I think I already have a prediction from way back in the day. I got to go into the archives to see what it was at the beginning of the season. Because I remember we had my boy Max on a long time ago, at the beginning of the year. We put our predictions in, right? I guarantee it wasn't Philly. But at the beginning of the playoffs, I said Philly because they were the best team this year. But these are the two best teams in the NFL facing off.
Chiefs, bro. I'm all Chiefs.
Holy fuck. Okay, well, hold up.
Or maybe I'm not.
I wonder. Oh, no. I'd have to go dig in the archives to see my predictions from the beginning of the year. I'm really, really hoping next episode, the next episode will be after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I can get Max on for it.
We can do right after.
Yeah, no, I'd like to do that, but it's a matter, Max has been freaking off the grid almost. So I'm gonna reach out to him and invite him over. And actually, this segment, hey, my Super Bowl prediction segment.
Yes, the Super Bowl prediction segment. This one right next to it.
Super Bowl prediction segment is brought to you by our party happening on Sunday. Super Bowl party.
Oh, we're having a okay.
Yeah, and if you know, you know. And if you don't, you fucking stay away. Don't come here. But we had one last year. It was epic as fuck. Snoop Dogg performing with Dre, Eminem, all that shit.
That was wild.
That was wild. We had there was, I don't think we had any more seating left. Oh, that's it. Who's that? Nice, New Jersey wins the game. In overtime. They had the power play with 41 seconds left in OT. You don't take penalties in overtime, in case you didn't know. Yeah. But now that you know, Super Bowl party Sunday. This segment brought to you by that. If you know, you know. You holler at your boy. We'll get you on the guest list. There's limited seating. Here. So first come, first serve. There's already some spots given away. Terrace, Max, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Probably Richard. I think it's all for maybe Naomi if Naomi wants to come around for that.
Maybe not, but we'll see.
And these are all previous guests we've had on the podcast.
Well, that fills up the good seats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are all the number one seats, the front row seats. But if you know, you know. Give your boy a shout. And but this segment, Super Bowl prediction segment. So here we go. This is a tough one. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a really good game. I think Philly's gonna win. The Philadelphia Eagles are gonna win. And I think the final score. So I'm gonna write this down and we're gonna lose it somewhere.
Who's gonna win?
Philadelphia Eagles over the Kansas City Chiefs in Arizona. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to win by the final score. Here we go. It's going to be lower scoring. It's going to be 26 Philly, 22-17 Chiefs. 26-17. You heard it here on this Week in Sports Super Bowl prediction segment. Oh, no. What are they clapping?
They're just enthusiastic.
Okay, I like them. I love you, people. Shout out to the people in the back there. In other NFL news, you ever hear this guy Tom Brady?
I think so.
Yeah. So this guy Tom Brady, apparently yeah. So Tom Brady, former draft pick of the Montreal Expos, believe it or not, he was drafted
You
like
told me that one time, yeah.
he was drafted like 506 overall by the Montreal Expos, as a catcher. And this game's going to OT too. What the hell?
Stay on target.
Stay on target. Stay on target. I can't see it. That's a Star Wars reference for you that don't know. Tom Brady, obviously the greatest athlete of all time, retiring for the second time. Oh my God. Is he coming back? Doubt it. He's already got a 9-figure deal to do sports, to be a sports analyst for I think ESPN. Yeah, paid him up front before he even retired to lock him down to be this like a 10-year deal on their network to break down sports. So that's obviously going to kick in whenever he feels like it. Okay, I'm going for New York in this game here because the Flames are right behind us in the standings. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. But we all know Tom Brady already retired. 7-time champion. Give it up for the great, great Tom Brady. I mean, you gotta give him like 7 claps, man. The guy's a fucking legend.
They're tired.
Yeah, I know they are getting tired up there. What we got here? New York. Oh yeah, 7 seconds left. Caleb's doing a tattoo. What do you got going on there?
I don't know.
Can I get a tatty?
Sure.
Yeah. Here's what I want. Here's what I fucking want. I want a neck tattoo that says neck tattoo.
He's blacking.
He's blacking. Yeah. No. What I want is a producer to show me some fucking fingers here. When you got on your what do you have tatted on your fingers here? Oh, you're fucking missing it. How much time do we do, brother?
40 minutes.
Fucking guy. We're already 40 minutes in?
Yeah.
Holy shiza. Yeah, well, thanks for letting me know fucking 20 minutes ago. Anyways.
It's good. It's good flow.
I know it's good flow. But normally, you tell me how much time I have.
All right.
So I will. No, it's too late now. The fourth wall has been broken.
We got 40 minutes.
Yeah. Was that what it is? Okay, so there's another... that's pretty much it. I mean, there's other shit that happened, but who cares? We're going to do some This Week in Sports History, I think. And I think I have some WWE sports history. That's always fun. Remember we were watching Macho Man Randy Savage?
Oh, yeah, brother.
Oh, yeah. Actually, no.
Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. Yeah.
Macho Man is the shit, man. He cuts the best promos. But This Week in Sports History, we're gonna bring him back to the best because he's retiring. So February 5th, 2017, 2000. Wait, hold on.
17.
Yeah, sorry, my fucking shit's glitching out. 5 years ago, February 5th, 2017, the Patriots. What a comeback! They were playing the Atlanta Falcons. I remember watching this over at the parents' house. The Falcons were up 28-3.
Oh, I remember this.
Yes, and then the Patriots came back to win 34-28 in overtime to win their 5th championship. Tom Brady. Oh my God, that was absolutely incredible. So I was falling asleep. Second half, or end of the first half, I was getting tired. I was passing out. I'm like, this game is over. It's 28-3. And that is the day that I realized you never, ever, ever doubt Tom Brady. That's why Tom Brady is probably going to come back. He's a fucking robot.
For the hell of it, why not?
Yeah, he's a fucking robot. He's like the Terminator, man. And when you think he's out, he comes back, and that's what happened in February of 2017. One of the biggest comebacks in history. Biggest comeback in Super Bowl history, that's for sure. Oh, come on, New York. Oh, that was blocked. Wow. Holy Madison Square Garden. Packed house. Calgary Flames, New York Rangers. Oilers fans here cheering for the Rangers. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, it's squeezed. Oh, they had 3 chances in a row. The New York Rangers did.
Stay on target.
Stay on target. No. I was supposed to. Well, that's my practice. I got to get my practice in because I unfortunately missed the Tomahawks game this weekend, but it's because I was at the round dance. So it was like I just didn't like skip out on it. I was doing that on Saturday. Tomahawks won though, and the Tomahawks are going in the playoffs. There's only 2, 4, 6 games left in the season, and oh my God, we're getting right down to the stretch. I'm freaking super excited. I think mathematically have a playoff spot already, and so we're going to be talking more Tomahawks coming up. I think we might have Connor Monday on a future episode, maybe before the playoffs or during the playoffs or something. I want to feature some of these kids from the Tomahawks on the podcast too.
We might actually get down to the Tomahawk Stadium.
I know we've been talking about it for fucking months now, and we're trying to. It's just freaking schedules don't line up. You know, when you're an adult, you get fucking busy and shit. And if I was able to do this full time, which it's getting close to that point, I'd be able to do that. So we'll get down there. And we'll feature some of the Tomahawks players and, kind of get to know them a little bit. And, but here comes the Rangers. 2-on-1. What a save! My goodness. Rebound scores! Yes.
Rebound
the goalie's pissed for the Flames. Markstrom, yeah. Oh, he broke his stick. Go home. Fucking bum. No, so all is well that ends well. Is that the saying? All is well that ends well? Yeah.
You can timestamp exactly where we are.
Yeah, exactly, right, with that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate everyone that listens to this. Thank you for listening to this episode. Another quick couple notes before I leave. I am getting old. I drank like 3 cups or 4. I bought 4 cups of coffee this past week. I've never bought coffee in my life. And I don't know.
At least that's your only vice.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. It tastes so good. French vanilla with like espresso in it. Oh my God,
I should go grab one after this.
I want one right now. Fuck.
I think they have decaf French vanillas.
I don't want decaf. I like that shit.
I want the calf.
You
don't work in the morning?
Maybe in the morning. I'm not sure if I have to work tomorrow, which is nice. You have to work?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Anyways, beyond all that, again, thank you for listening. What a weekend it was. And I got Philly in the Super Bowl. But next time we record one of these, it'll be after the Super Bowl. Hopefully, maybe right directly after. We'll see. We'll see how that gong show of a party it is next weekend. Like I said, give me a shout if you want to come through. If you listen to this far into this episode of the podcast, you're invited. Until next time. Peace.